Shootout Paul, sponsored by mycaring.com.
Welcome back to MK Sports Bar. We are live from Milton Keynes, and from 16 we only have 3 potential winners. Liam Dunster through after a lively first semi-final. Who will it be to join him? Let's find out. Introducing our second semi-finalist. First of all, give a warm welcome to a former UK professional champion and IPA world champion. He's the current IPA #1. It's Ben "Ding" Davies. And his opponent back in the semi-finals as he was in the Taom Shootout up in Doncaster. He's the dish. It's Matt Lawrenson.
Who will play Liam Dunster in the final of the Taom Shootout, Milton Keynes. Ben Davies, the #1 professional player on the IPA Tour, from Wales, against England's Matt Lawrenson. Matt Lawrenson wins the lag and will break first. Ben Davies coming through a very tight opening match. 4-4 was the final scoreline. Had to go to a shootout, beating Josh Keynes by 5 frames to 4 before beating Mark Boyle 5 frames to 1. Very high class performance from Ben. Matt Lawrenson came through his opening match 5 frames to 2 against Darren McCarthy before beating Simon Fitzsimmons 5-3. I think it's fair to say so far today Matt Lawrenson's break has probably been the best break on show, consistently making break dish after break dish. And once again, another commentator's curse. I do apologise to Matt, as his break lets him down. It's a big break, but the white goes straight into the top right-hand corner pocket. Fouling off the break is always a disaster, especially against great players like Ben Davies, because it gives him a free shot to open up the table. And normally if you break big and you give an opponent a free shot, they're able to just open it up and you expect them to make the clearance every time. Good use of his free shot has opened up the table for Ben. It's a slightly loose positional shot and he's got a much tougher pot than he wanted. He was hoping to be fairly straight on one of these reds to the bottom left corner. So much so he had to take it to the bottom right corner instead. And now the problem he's got, he needs to get the white to the right hand side of the table, and he's too straight on this red down the cushion. Ben tried to really force the angle to get the white across the right hand side, and he's managed to do that, but Cannon in yellow, he's snookered himself, and this visit all of a sudden has got away from him, and It all started with that loose positional shot where he finished too short on his positional shot to leave a red down to the bottom right-hand corner. What a great shot, what a recovery. He's still going to have a very tough black. Ben tried to recover the situation but wasn't able to do so, and now the frame is very much in Matt Lawrenson's control. I'm delighted to be joined in the commentary box for a quick chat by the man that's waiting for the winner of this match in the final, Liam Dunster. Congratulations, Liam.
Thank you.
Another final. Seems to be a regular occurrence, especially with this shootout, 3 on the trot. Pleased with the way you're playing?
Yeah, I'm pleased with the way I'm playing. I think I was really frustrated with one of the frames. I can't remember what I'd done. In fact, that's what it was. It was the frame that it turned to 15 seconds, and I've completely forgot it was 15. And next thing I've heard the beep, and I've had to just. Well, I was round the wrong side of the table to the ball. I was wanting to take, so I had to kind of run round the table and then just sort of hit it. And that's the frame that. I think I ended up losing that frame. That was one that I was really annoyed with. But other than that, yeah, playing really well.
I know that you've won plenty of tournaments now with the shot clock, especially now you've won the down to 30 seconds, winning the shootout, and 15 seconds in the Falkirk shootout. But I think you look more and more comfortable with every tournament you play with it. Do you think you, even though you've won under shot clock rules, just getting more and more comfortable as we go on?
Yeah. I mean, there's no getting used to this format at all. Even Sheffield will admit himself, he's one of the fastest players out there, and he'll still struggle himself because, yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain it until you're out there. It's really hard to explain. It's 15 seconds is really not a lot of time. You've got to virtually, the first shot you think of, you've got to play it. Whereas sometimes in tactical situations, you've got to consider 2 or 3 options first before you go for what one you like.
It's interesting you mentioned the tactical side of the game, because a lot of players in this format, we've noticed it all day, they almost don't want to, I mean, they probably don't in general play anyway, they don't want to give themselves the tactical options. They just come to the table and they try and clear up regardless. And I think today, 2 or 3 times, especially in your match against Jordan Shepherd in the quarterfinals, you landed with tough chances after the break, but you've decided to take a colour set, play a really good safety shot, and then earn a better opportunity.
Yeah.
And I don't think other players in the field are doing that.
I mean, again, it's hard to explain, but see, with this environment and people constantly shouting, and they want attack and pull, so people kind of get into that rhythm of constant attack and pull, and sometimes they'll go for it when they don't actually want to. But like you said a few times, the crowd are obviously wanting me to go for it, but I know the right shots not to go for it, so that's exactly what I do.
Well, certainly, I think it was a big factor in you beating Jordan today, because it felt like he had the better of the opportunities throughout the match, but you were able to wait and bide your time to earn the opportunities to win the frames, and you were able to get that win in what was probably one of the better matches we've seen. Well, the matches you've played against Jordan so far,
yeah,
all the shootouts have been brilliant.
I can't remember putting a foot wrong in a match. Don't get me wrong, there was a couple of times I've potted the ball and went into a cluster and then had to play a safety shot, but even then I was happy with how the safety shots were going and things like that, so I actually don't think I put a foot wrong in a match, because I'm actually sitting there at 4-all when he's on the finish. I'm saying to myself, that's me beat 5-4 and I've done virtually nothing wrong. And then he's mucked up with 3 balls left. Well, I say mucked up, he's slack position, and then he's played an outrageous double in the middle. And then I thought, oh, that's definitely it. And then somehow that second last ball just didn't drop from.
Yeah, it must be frustrating. That double he played into the middle was quite incredible. You must be thinking before he plays that one, he's going to get a chance here, and then he pulls out something quite incredible.
Yeah, I mean, what I thought he was actually going to do is, the way it was sort of near to the trying to think what side you'd see it on the camera, but anyway, it was just say near the right cushion, and the ball was over the left knuckle, like over the left pocket. I thought he'd come off the cushion he was closest to and try and pot it, but he's went for a completely different ball and ended up double it in the middle, which was an absolute great shot.
Yeah, and then misses the next one off the cushion that you wouldn't expect him to miss, but you still got to take them out under that pressure, and you made it look very simple. And another very good performance against Keynes. I just want to touch on the end of that match against Keynes. We saw every time we have one of these events, we see something slightly different happen, and this time Keynes conceded a frame when you were trying to slow the match down, which we thought was quite an interesting choice to do that, and I don't think it sat very well with you.
I didn't actually mind doing it, mind them doing that, but I did think you weren't allowed to do that, because I did bring that up last event. What happens if you concede? And I got told you weren't allowed to, but it's got overlooked there, which is fine.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that it probably shouldn't be allowed.
I think it should be the same as snooker. As far as I'm aware, the snooker rule is you can only concede when it's your shot. I don't know if that's correct or not, though.
I'm not 100% certain on that either. And just as we're talking about that match, this is the second frame on the trot where Ben is snooping himself on his last ball.
Because, I mean, you can gain quite an advantage by doing that, because say I'm 3-0 with yourself and you've broke and you've left them virtually all over the bag. I know you're going to finish it. There's only 3 minutes left on the clock. Just say you're going to finish us 99 times out of 100. I'm probably just going to concede that and then give myself a chance at a breaking dish for the next one, because I'm more likely to win that than just letting you finish that and then not enough time to do anything myself.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It'd be interesting to see what the organisers choose to do, whether they want to keep it in or not. Either way, it creates an interesting dynamic now that somebody has chosen to do it, and doesn't surprise me that you'd already thought about it as a potential, that's something that could happen, because it's the way you see the game and the way you think about it. But it'd be interesting to see what they do for the next event. But back to this event, any thoughts on this match? Any preference?
No, they're both really good players. I'd say Ben's the favourite on paper, but as you can see here, Matt's most likely about to go 2-0 up, so anything can happen. It's a really short race. First to fives, might not even go as far as 5, so it's a really short race.
Now, I know you've played Ben a few times on the IPA Tour. Have you played Matt before?
I've not played Matt before on the IPA. I'm not actually sure if he's part of the IPA.
No, he's not. I mean, you've played Ben on the IPA.
Right,
sorry.
okay. Yeah, I've played Ben quite a few times, but the only times I've played Matt is here in the shootouts. I've played him twice, and I've played him once in, I think it was like the Murphy's Open or something like that. Yeah, other than that, I can't seem to think of any other times I've played him. But yeah, Ben, I've played with him quite a few times in IPA tours.
Yeah, so far today it looks like Matt's break's been working really well, going for a really powerful front ball break. You've played around a little bit. What are you going to start the final with? Are you going to go for your sort of standard cut break, or are you going to wait and see how you feel at the time?
Well, I've got two different types of cut break. I've got the one where I sort of cue over the cushion to hit the second ball, but there's also, it's a little bit further away from the cushion. I sort of cue over the pocket instead, and I feel that's working better than the one that's closer to the cushion.
I guess you'll start with that and then see what happens from there. Well, it's crunch time for Ben in this match. About 12 minutes gone, 2-0 behind. The first couple of frames have been a little bit drawn out. Sorry, 18 minutes to go. He's had the first opportunity in both the opening frames and they've got away from him. Can't afford to let that happen again. It really does feel that every frame is a lot more weight on every frame because of the format. Because you don't need to get to 5. Going 3-0 behind is quite a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, it affects both players, even if you're 3-0 up or 3-0 down, because if you're 3-0 up, sometimes you're not actually thinking about what you'd normally do. Maybe you think, right, I'll maybe play a safety shot, waste a bit of time, things like that, and as you know, if you're down, then you've got to kind of play a bit faster, perhaps more attacking pool, because you don't want to get dragged down in a tactical battle if you're 3-0 down. You're just running down the clock. Even if you win that frame, you've just made it harder for yourself to win the match.
Ben just overran his positional shot, needed to be straighter on that yellow, had too much angle, so it's played into the black, knocked it safe. That's 3 frames on the trot where he's been looking like he's going to clear up in pretty good position, and it's just got away from him at the end.
What do you think, double in the middle here?
Do you think the red's probably not quite causing it to be a big pocket? That's what he played. Red may have helped it a fraction if he got the other side of it. Either way, it's another frame that's got away from him. This frame's now very much in match control, and if he can get it, he's very much in control of the match. Dangerously close to making the black when he cannoned into that red. Hasn't worked out particularly well for him because that red is still being blocked by the black, so he's going to need to work that out.
Yeah, I think it's even worse as well. There's just enough room for the white to get behind that red, so he can't really snooker up in that corner. So he's going to have to go for this. He's trying to kick the red out. He's got to be careful he doesn't hit into the black here. Played that really well.
Yeah, it's an excellent shot. The red may pass the black in a couple of shots' time.
I think he's got, yeah, may pass the black. I mean, he's got the sort of long one now. If he wants to take it his hardest ball, he obviously feels it passes the black. You can't really see from that camera angle. The other shot was to play the one he's just potted in, the one in the middle, and come over up the cushion, and then play the red into the bag he's just potted in the shot previous to that one.
And Matt has this black to go 3-0 ahead and complete control of this match with half the match gone, and it makes no mistake with the black, putting Ben Davies under a lot of pressure. Well, thank you very much for your time, Liam. Best of luck in the final. Look forward to seeing you then. Crowd are still very much enjoying themselves, getting into the party atmosphere in between frames. And this match is going completely against Ben Davies. The first 3 frames he's had the first opportunity and not been able to take them. This time he gives the first opportunity to Matt Lawrenson. Can he do any better with the first chance? No issues on these yellows, doesn't need to develop anything. Everything's got a pocket, just a case of working your way around. As I always say, it's just about working out the route you want to take. Once he's dropped this one in, he's going to have to work out a very good white off the next shot. The red's kind of blocking the natural route, which would be use the top cushion. which is why he's had to screw out and just use the side cushion. But that's an excellent shot, much better shot than it looked. And with that black, he makes it 4-0, 1 frame away from the final. Playing some excellent pool and really punishing every mistake that Ben Davies makes. And then when he gets the first opportunity, he made very light work of the finish. Matt's decided to change his break for the first time in the match, and surprising considering how well he's broken today. I'm not surprised to see him come up dry. Sometimes when you go away from something that's working, it's not the best option. Ben would have much preferred to go reds, but there wasn't a red available for him to go at. Forced into going for yellows. Safety play is not really an option for him now. He needs to win minimum of 4 frames in the next 11.5 minutes. Everything's going Matt Lawrenson's way at the moment. That could well be Ben Davies' last shot in this year's Taom Shootout. Lawrenson now 3 balls away from the final versus Liam Dunster. It's been an excellent performance so far in this match. And no mistakes with the black, and he is into the final, beating Ben Davies by 5 frames to 0. A slightly surprising scoreline, but a fantastic performance from Matt Lawrenson. He will now go through to play Liam Dunster in the Taom Shootout final here in Milton Keynes, and we will have that after the break.
Shootout Paul, sponsored by MyKeyring.com.